And welcome back to another episode on the Create Mod. In this episode, we are going to be connecting the two buildings that we made. This one we finished in the last episode with the cube and the tubes, loving it. We also worked slightly on the inside, and I've had a couple of votes on the whole, but we're not doing that today. Instead, I want to get mostly the redstone farm up and running, because we have to bring in netherwort and andesite, I think. I genuinely forget at this point, but we need to bring in netherwort and andesite. Andesite is made over there, and so is like everything else so far. And we need to bring it over to this building. And I was thinking, why not make some underground like maintenance tunnel type of things that go directly below this granite brick area and can dart off into the 4 different sections depending on what items are where. So I guess the first thing that we need to do is start digging. All right, so this is the width of the outer pathway. This is the width of the outer pathway, including the stair blocks, which maybe we need or don't need. I don't know yet. But I'm gonna have a tunnel that's all big and stuff go underneath, pretty much directly copying this. And then in the center here, we're gonna have some complicated stuff. We'll need a way for items to go from this building to this building for now, and then eventually also to be able to go to the other 2 buildings if we need. And the same thing for this one needs to go bring items to that building, and the home base, and everything else also. I haven't done any work on logic or anything, so I'm not gonna do that either. I think first thing we need to do is dig a hole and make it look like a maintenance tunnel. I think that makes a lot of sense. And then we can get in some of the belts, the logic, the understanding of what we even want, because we're gonna need a system like this where we have sorters and requesters and stuff, but it needs to be kind of inverted, at least on this side. We need to set up these sorters for what the other building needs. So in our case, I think it's andesite. I really don't remember. So to get the andesite from here over to there, we're gonna need a inverse system to this. We have the drawer controller that goes into a barrel and have it be sorted based on the thing that we need. We'll probably not need any redstone on this side other than a little redstone link that says request andesite, and then that unlocks this chute basically. But then on the other side, we're going to need to basically copy this whole thing, which probably means we need a big underground space for all the requesting and receiving that's going to happen. Because I mean, this is just for these, 5 farms? We're probably going to need way more for over here, at least way more space. So I guess let's get started with digging, and then we can get to the actual placing of logic and things. And I don't know how big I want to make this. It is 7 blocks wide, which is quite big, to be honest. So maybe we do 7 blocks wide, 7 blocks tall, because then we can do a cool circle tunnel thing where we have like 1, 2, 3 blocks like this, and then something like that, and then 1, 2, and then like this type of thing. And that's how big the tunnel is, and it's just like a circle. So that'll be the working plan for now. I'll keep you updated on anything that might change. But we need to dig this out. I'm probably just going to dig out here to the other building for now, because that's all we need. But once we're under the fountain area, I do have to excavate that quite a bit, just because of all the logic and stuff to be able to filter out which items go where and what is needed and who's requesting. Because there's a very good chance that this building, the one that we just made, can I get up here? That this building, the one that we just made, needs andesite, and then a building over here also needs andesite, and we don't know which one is requesting it at the moment. So we need to find a way to, is this guy requesting andesite? Then only bring andesite there. If this guy's requesting andesite, skip this one and go to that one. So that'll be probably the biggest challenge that we run into, but that's going to be for future me, because I don't want to deal with it. So now we get to dig, make a big hole, make a big tunnel, and then I'll get back to you. Ooh, okay, this is like kind of good news, but there's a big old cave here, so it's actually way less digging than I anticipated. That does mean I need to place a bunch of floor blocks once we get down to the level that we need, and there's the tube, Love that. But this whole area is already dug out, so that's just building. I don't need to dig anything there. And then over here is mostly dug out. You can see already in the inside of the other building. So we don't have a ton of digging to do, but I think the making it look good part is going to take quite a bit. So I'm going to push that off as much as I can. All right, the digging is basically done. I have it 7 blocks down as of right now. I'm not sure if this is going to be tall enough or if we want to do something else, but it's good enough for the time being. We now got to get in some of the logic on our new base side, and I think it's probably a good idea to put it just in the floor, maybe on this side, since there's a little bit less space. And then this will actually be a good spot for a storage system as well. So I think I'm going to do another drawer storage system over here for all of the things that this base produces and also needs to produce the things. So we'll need a bone meal spot, a redstone spot, a nether wart spot, because it takes nether wart, a blaze rod slot. Does this? I don't remember. Yeah, blaze rods. I don't know why there's powder here too, but a blaze rod spot and an andesite spot as of right now. And we only have 2 systems in, so we're probably going to need a pretty big storage system on this side as well. But what we can do is if we dig out this area, we can get the underneath part going where we have the system I mentioned up there, but the inverse of that. And then we can just put it straight into our new storage system. So I guess first more digging and then placing in a bunch of drawers and stuff. I need to get more drawers. I think I ran out last time when we were placing all these. But then once that's done, we can get to the actual fun bit of like trying to connect the two. Oak drawers have been acquired. A hole has been dug. And I know I said last time I was going to use the white wired concrete. So this block. I'm not sure if I like it, but I actually, no, you know what? I kind of do. I was thinking maybe it wouldn't fit the space correctly, but I actually think it does. So I'm just going to fill this in so I can place the drawers. And then once we have just a bajillion of these in here, then we can open up the bottom bit and figure out something to do there. So I suspect these are going to be the main, I don't even know how to pronounce the word, main farm usable-ing equipment. So like the andesite, the nether quartz, the bones, the redstone, those things are going to go in here. And then this is just miscellaneous, like extra stuff that we don't really care about. Or things that are really hard to make, like bone blocks or something like that, that don't need a whole big thing here. But I think this is enough space, and it at least definitely is for right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a drawer controller, place it in there, and then underneath we can get to actually connecting it with the getaway. We can connect it with the oak trim down to whatever bottom thing that we build up and set up for the requesting system. All right, we have everything that I need to do just a quick test of this. So this is the requesting system. The requesting system is actually just the normal one, where we're going to have like a belt or something coming in, and then off of that belt, we're going to have a sorter or something, and a, let's just say it's going to be over here, a brass funnel that goes into the barrel. If the barrel we need a sorter for, if the barrel's full, stop requesting. Otherwise, just keep requesting until this drawer controller slave is full. So that is going to be the exact same as the logic up here, and honestly, I feel like I remember using a threshold switch to compact all of this redstone into just one block. So I think I'm going to use that. I want to see, I do have threshold switches. I'm so good at speaking. Good thing I'm making YouTube videos about talking. So if we use the threshold switch, I think if we just plop this on here, and then when the barrel, so we're going to need to make this quite small because of the travel time necessary for all the items. So when the barrel is above 6%, because when it's at 6%, we'll know that it's probably full. And what I might do on the sending side is to use andesite funnels, because those can only drop one item at a time, while brass funnels do a stack of an item at a time, and that will probably overfill the barrel just because of how long the transport time is. But we'll see if I need to increase that speed to run, let's say, the redstone farm at full speed or something like that. But I think that's good. And then on the end of that, we could throw, oh, no. We could throw a redstone link. I'm just going to put a threshold switch on the bottom. And then I've grabbed some andesite and we're putting it in the top one there. So now what'll happen is if this gets too full, it'll turn on the threshold switch, stopping the requests from happening and then being good and it just working. And that is a much smaller system than before. What I could even do, it's actually not a bad idea. If I move the redstone link down there, then it's only 2 blocks wide. It doesn't take up any other space. And then all I have to do is put back the threshold switch and andesite. Beautiful. So that is good. And then to hook it up to the actual system over here, we just build this along. That's the wrong way. Build this along like that, and then it's connected. I honestly don't know if there's a way to test this without hooking up the sending part of the system. So what I'm going to do is something never seen before, and it's going to be so crazy. It's make a belt. The belt has some significance. I don't know how to leave. We first need to create the sending part over here. I think I'm just going to dig down. Oh, I already have things here. That's awesome. We're just gonna have a little hole here for the time being where I can grab some oak trim, bring it down here, and then with the drawer controller slave, I'm gonna pop it there. And then if I get a smart chute with a filter, I think it's gonna be as easy as putting andesite as the filter and then connecting the drawer controller slave. And this thing already has andesite. It's that easy. Oh my gosh. So now we can set up, if I get me a Belteroni, then we can just send it to where it needs to go. Well, I guess I need more digging because we don't have a path there just yet, but I think it's just going to be like right here. Yeah, it's just right there. Okay, that's not even that far. That's super easy to do. Quick digging time. The hole is dug. We're going to get going with trying to place in this belt. So I'm going to get this thing in and bring it down to the side and just hope that it's the right dimensions for when I decorate this place later. But if it isn't, it shouldn't be the end of the world because I'm honestly not too worried about redoing this if I need it. How far will this go? There we go. I suppose this one was just a little bit too far away and we made it. So this will bring, as of right now, just andesite over. But if we get everything in and working correctly, then we should be able to get everything over in here. I just need to remember to set the redstone link on the other side to the same thing as this, which is a threshold switch and andesite. And I'm doing that before we turn it on so that all the andesite doesn't just fly away. I did just remember the reason why a smart chute probably isn't going to work. We would need an andesite funnel, which actually isn't horribly complicated. Drawer controller slave, smart chute with andesite as the filter, and then this will go out onto the belt. And then we could just throw the redstone link on top of it, receive mode, those two things in it. Cool. And there we go. That's fixed. And this redstone link will only power the andesite funnel, so we should be good on if we just line up like 8 or more of these drawer controllers all right next to each other with the smart chutes underneath. It should just work. And we won't need to worry about quasi connectivity or whatever. I don't care. Now it's time to just get in a bunch of gear boxes and a bunch of shafts and go just all the way down the line. All right, everything is hooked up and going, I think, the right way. The last thing I need to do is just extend this and we should see andesite coming over. I'm just going to do that and I'm going to run way over here with my... What? 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 How? That definitely said andesite on it before. Okay. I think that's okay. I think that was just redstone got in it when I put down the smart chute first before putting in the andesite filter. So I assume it's going to be okay. So let me reconnect this. That's just going to go into a pile. That's fine. We should see after that, though, andesite coming in. Yes. And maybe even going into the system up here? It is. Awesome. Okay, this is really, really good news. Now, what we might be able to do to speed this up, because obviously one andesite at a time is really, really slow. What we could do is switch this barrel for something like an oak drawer, which holds 32 stacks instead of, does this hold? This holds 27, but we can increase the size of the drawer capacity with just an upgrade. Then we could send as much as we want, really, and we'll still be okay threshold switch-wise, because I do think that one andesite every 10 seconds or whatever is going to be too slow to keep up with this farm alone, and we'll probably get more than one andesite farm that's needed. I think the brass farm needs andesite to work. Yeah, andesite and diorite to make tough to then make brass. So we will definitely need faster andesite than this, but it's a really good proof of concept, and this means now we can hook up this system to our farm here and make it just be fully automated, pretty much. What I'm going to do is a very similar thing to what we have underneath here, where we have the barrel with the threshold switch that turns on and off a requester. We're just going to do the same thing here. So we have a barrel. I'm just going to throw a threshold switch right in there. And then you're only going to request when it's above 10%. Start requesting again at 2%. And then we're just going to have a belt that goes into this thing. And then we can grab andesite funnel going straight in there. Then we can just get a belt going down here. And we can even go underground and use that for our item transport. As for where this thing's going to go, the center of the storage system-ish is like right here. Down below, I'm having the things that are requested from the main storage system going to be over here. We'll probably need a few rows of it, to be honest. So I think we head over to the right this way. I do think the drawers have a max distance of like 12 blocks in each direction, up, down, left, right, forward, and backwards. So we aren't able to go like infinity far away, but 12 blocks is actually quite a ways in every direction. That's like a ton of extra space, and it's a square. It's not like a radius or a circle or anything stupid like that. So I think if we head over here, we should be able to still reach. If I place down a drawer controller slave, we should see up top, yep, andesite 957, 8, whatever, which means it's in range of the actual storage system. All right, this is going to have a very similar setup to the sending system over at the main storage system. I'm just going to put a temporary oak trim block down just so that items don't just fall out. And then we're going to set the filter to andesite, and then we're going to have the belt there. It might actually be better to rotate it that way and have it head this way first. And then when it gets to here or so, then it can turn this way and head over in this direction. All right, the item pathway is in, and I've wired it up already. It should all the belts should be going the right way now. I think all that's left to do is to actually power this thing on, which is scary, but that's okay. As of right now, this just goes straight to andesite, but a little bit later, I'm gonna probably just get a brass funnel that just picks it up and sends it over this way, or maybe a tunnel. Those things are cool. And they actually work now. I think the Create Mod 0.5.1.f fixes the tunnels so that they go at belt speed instead of slow. So we could use tunnels if we wanted to. But I think let's just get this started. And once I connect this, this should be going the right way. And we should be getting andesite. Okay, is that a big enough barrel? This is going the wrong way. How do I fix this? Oh man, there we go. It's going in. This thing should say no more items, please. Ow, feels like it's not saying that. Mr. Threshold switch. Oh my gosh, my game is chunking. How do I get to this threshold switch? There we go. Oh, I think it's looking at the wrong thing. That's what it's doing. Stop doing that, you silly Billy. There we go. Okay. Now it has a level. Now it should be okay, it's saying no more, please. That's good. Okay, it's saying no more. This is actually running. We should be getting redstone? Yeah. Oh, neat. Oh, but we're out of blaze rods. Yeah, because we have enough nether wart. We just don't have enough blaze rods. Well, that's a future problem. But this is actually good news. So that means this whole system works. The smart chute isn't too fast, at least from what it looks like, to break the whole thing. I guess we'll see later on once we're actually making more redstone and stuff. But this also probably means that we should speed up this system just a little bit. Oh, I'm an idiot. What you can do is you can just set the stack size of this to, let's say, oh, I don't know, exactly 16. And then it'll just work. And then we can put that in like this. We don't need you anymore. Ah, no. Oh, man. It's okay. It's whatever. It's not my monkeys or my circus, honestly. And then on the backside here, we can just place back. Actually, let's put it on the front just to make it easier for me to see when I want to see it. And we're just going to throw andesite, and I need to grab a threshold switch and put that there. And now this will fill up faster, but not too fast. Oh, and that actually might be all of the andesite that we have, which would mean that I need to go. Yeah, I think that's all the andesite we have, which means I probably need to turn on our andesite machine. It's not super an andesite, but the all-in-one machine. Well, I suppose we'll just flick that on, and that'll give us enough andesite, I think. It's what, like 8,000 andesite an hour, which is plenty. While that's running, I think it might be a good idea to start building the tunnels for these things, because right now it's just a big old hole that used to be a cave, or I guess still is a cave, and I don't like that. So I think we need to make some tubes. It's going to be a pretty simple design, something repetitive and tube-like would be my initial assumptions. But then once we get that in, we could also bring the lava. Oh no! Oh, from instead of just going in here and through the grass like lame idiots, we can bring it into the tubes as well. I can get under there. We can bring it in here as well, and I think it'll look pretty cool if we have it like underneath this belt here or something. So I suppose let's get to building. I don't know what kind of style I'm gonna go with. Probably just some stone brick and call it a day, with maybe some glowstone lanterns or shroomlight lanterns to liven it up, add like the smidgiest bit of color. But yeah, let's get building. And it is done, at least most of it. The parts that matter are pretty much done. I left this area alone for now because I'm not sure how big or small it needs to be. But we have the tunnel coming all the way from the main build way over here. I might have to like bump out this like wall and just push it way this way once we get more Sendy boys in. But until then, I think it looks really good. And if you saw from the time-lapse, you'll know that I was having quite a bit of struggles with how this was looking. I went through a couple of different build style attempts, and I landed on industrial iron, which is a create mod block that, for some reason, the ingots are 1-to-1 and like a complicated recipe, but the blocks can just be converted like this. So you can get 1 iron ingot for 2 blocks, and then the blocks are 9 ingots. So there's a little bit of an oopsie daisy that Create Mod did with that. So I just got a bunch of industrial iron blocks. These metal girders are huge. I think they look super cool. They're like the perfect wall because it doesn't connect with the stone bricks behind it. I think it makes it look really cool. And then we have some industrial iron catwalks, which we're also using as the flooring. And then these industrial iron trapdoors, which are the same as these. It's just trapdoors made with the industrial iron ingots. And behind some of them, we have calcite, which makes this square and this little dasher here white, which I think adds just a subtle hint of like, oh, that's pretty neat, without being super obnoxious. And then you'll also know that I have copper underneath these things, and I think it looks pretty cool. I haven't waxed it, which is going to be an issue because it's all going to turn green. But once it does all turn green, I'll take another look at it and see if I like it. And if not, I need a honey farm. I need one so bad, so that I can get some honeycombs and wax stuff. Because right now I'm just like letting that turn all green. This is gonna turn green, so we gotta fix that eventually. But while I was doing that, multiple things have been running. So this should be full-ish. Yeah, great. And this should also be full. Oh. Okay, well it is kind of full, but I forgot to lock everything. How did bone meal get in here? I forgot to lock everything, so it's just been going into this oak drawer, which is okay. I think it's not the end of the world. The andesite crafter thingy has been running. Our main storage is still empty, but this thing should still be running and making andesite. I have no cobble. Copper is locked. Oh my god. Wait, am I dumb? Okay, a super duper janky fix, but it is a fix. Oh, actually, the way I fix it is just gonna be from under here. Ha ha ha. I am smart. I was just tricking you all along. And this should power this thing, but not anything around it. Good, we're good, it's fixed. I'm smart, I promise. All right, so now we're getting more andesite. We still got like 4,000, 2,000, a something amount of andesite, which isn't too bad for it not working properly. So I am good with that. We do need to lock these things, I'll do that later. But down here we finished this place and it honestly looks really good. I got super sidetracked while I was showing you, but it's very simple. It's just a tunnel that we're gonna eventually put some pipes into. I'm not sure if I want the pipes just going along the wall like I do with the belts. I'm not sure. Maybe we do them like up at the top here or something. The only issue is, as you just saw, they're gonna run into some belts. So maybe we send it a little bit higher up, but honestly, I don't hate the look of that. So now we have the pipes going into these encase thingies, and I think here I really like it, where it just goes up, and it looks like it's going over, but we have the other floor right above it, so it's actually going way over here and being all annoying, but we don't know that. So I think that's really cool, and obviously you can't just have a pipe here with no mechanical pipe pushing all the fluids over. So what I'm probably going to do is repeat this quite a bit, where we have it go up and then over in mechanical pipe just as to push the lava forward. But we'll do that later. I think it looks super cool like that. And I think in the next episode, we're going to get this thing started as automatedly as we can. Obviously, we're not going to have a fully automated blaze farm by next episode, but I'll have a couple blaze rods to start up the process and at least get the whole proof of concept thing going. But that's going to be next episode. We made a bunch of progress today. We built the tunnel. We set up the requesting and receiving system for all the items that we're going to need. Well, the proof of concept for all the items that we're going to need. We still have to put in just a couple more sending and receiving systems here and on the other side. But once we get that, it should be relatively straightforward. So, thank you all so much for watching. If you liked this episode, be sure to like, and if you're not subscribed, why not? Subscribe. Peace.